Here's your practice question for today. This is the actual question, question number 3, no calculator from the 2019 exam. And what type of question is it? So before we did, what did we do before? So before we did one with a table. Before that we did one with a rate of something entering and leaving. Here's another common one with a graph. So if you're given the graph, can you answer some questions? The answer is yes. Let's do it together. So you see that, and then they give you a 0.53, and they're going to give you another 0.3 and 3 minus root 5. So that's right there. If we need to know what that point is, and we might, we know what it is now. All right. If the integration from -6 to 5 is 7, and the integration from -6 to -2, find that value. So from -6 to 5, find from -6 to -2. So in other words, I'm going to find the area here, and then I'm going to subtract. So if I'm going to visualize it properly, if we go from -6 to 5, that answer is 7. On the graph, it goes from -2 to 5. I can find that answer using the graph. And then this is what I'm looking for, from -2 to -6. So if I find this answer, I go 7, subtract that, and then I get the answer I'm looking for. Okay. So remember that area above and area below. So we have a triangle above and a triangle below. They're exactly the same size, so they just cancel out. So we have I don't even care what it is right now. Positive, subtract that at 0. We have a little triangle right there. And I need to know what that point is. So the equational line, what's the slope of that line? So it's up 2 over 1. And the y-intercept's -1. So if I plug in here to find the x-intercept, add 1 and divide by 2, that's at 1/2. So it's half a half times 1, -1. So let's start there. Half a half with -1. So if I put that together, the area of that little triangle is -14, or 1/4. The next one is this one right here. That's a big triangle. That's positive because it's above. So 1/2 to 2. So 1.5 is the base. So 1/2 the base, and 1.5, a better way to write it is 3 over 2 times the height, which is 3. And then put that together, and I get 9 over 4. And then this area here. How do I find that curved area? Well, I'm going to have to do some work here. So first of all, I'm going to draw, I think it's a square. Is it 3 by 3? So I'm going to draw a square to begin with. The big shape is a square. That's 3 by 3. That's 9, 3 squared. Then I'm going to subtract the quarter circle. So I'm going to subtract pi r squared divided by 4. So I have the square, subtract the quarter circle, and what's left over is what I want. And so the radius of the quarter circle is 3. So I have 9 minus 9 pi over 4. I'm going to put this all together. So we have -1/4 plus 9 over 4 plus 9, subtract 9 pi over 4. We can simplify this. 9 take away 1 is 8, and 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 2 plus 9 is 11. So I got 11, subtract 9 pi over 4. Then I want to find this, so I'm going to go 7, subtract that for the answer. And that's it. I don't need to simplify it. I could. If I subtract that, there'd be 7 take away 11 is -4, and you subtract a negative, that would be plus 9 pi over 4. So if you wanted to, you could simplify it to that answer. But that's what's left over. And you should always write down what you're doing. So we're integrating from -6 to -2. And that answer was -4 plus 9 pi over 4. Part B. Evaluate, I'm going to write it down right away, from 3 to 5, and it's 2 and the derivative of x plus 4 dx. So if I integrate the derivative, you're just left with f at x with the 2 in front. If you integrate 4, it's 4x, and that's from 3 to 5. And then I'm going to plug in. So first plug in 5. And then subtract and plug in 3. So what's the function value at 5? That answer is 0. So at 5, it's 0. And then 4 times 5 is 20. What is the function value at 3? Well, that was the number we got that we needed. So the function value at 3 is 3 minus root 5. And then we're going to subtract 12 because there's a negative in front. And that's it. You could simplify it a little bit, but it's unnecessary, and you have your answer. Part C. You're asked to integrate from negative 2 to x. Well, that's what g at x equals. That's a common one to ask. Define a function using an integral. And then it says find the absolute maximum. So that's a table of values question from negative 2 to 5. So we need the n values. And then I'm going to take the derivative and make it equal to 0. So the derivative of this is just f at x equal to 0. Then you look off your graph and go, okay, from negative 2 to 5, what are your x-intercepts? And we have one at negative 1 and one at a half. And then we need to plug in to find these different values. So what is g at negative 2? So if you integrate from negative 2 to positive 2 off the graph, so plug in negative 2. So look off the graph from negative 2 to positive 2. So this is 0. And then what did we say these other numbers were? We did them already. So it's a negative a quarter plus 9/4. So together that answer is 2. Right? From negative 2. Oh no, from negative 2 to negative 2, the answer is 0. So from negative 2 to negative 2, there is no area. You're not even moving, right? From negative 2 to negative 2, the answer is 0. The next one is from negative 2 to negative 1. So if I look from negative 2 to negative 1, the area of one of those triangles, half the base times the height. So 1 times 1 1/2 of it, that's 1/2. And it's above. The next one is 1/2. So you're integrating from negative 2 to 1/2. So negative 2 to 1/2, these cross out, and you're left with that little triangle, which was negative a quarter that we did before. It's right up here. So this answer is negative a quarter. And then the last one is for, so negative 2 gave you 0, negative 1/2, 1/2 gave you negative a quarter, and now 5. If I integrate from negative 2 to 5, what answer I get? That was your first answer, right, that we came up with, negative 2 to 5. Right, negative 2 to 5, and we said that answer was negative 4 plus 9/4. And then we're asked for the absolute minimum, which is the smallest number. Well, it's not 0 or 1/2, it's either negative a quarter or this. What's 9 times 3 is 27 divided by 4. So that gives me the answer like almost 7. And so that answer is positive. So the only answer it could be is negative a quarter. Or the absolute maximum means the biggest number. So not this one, 1/2, 0. This one will give me the biggest number. Again, just think of 9 times 3, 27 divided by 4. 28 divided by 4 would be 7, take away 4. This is a positive answer that's bigger than 1/2. That is your absolute max. All right, there's one more question left. Here we go. Part D. This one already smells like L'Hopital's rule. All right, if I plug in 1, I get 10. If I plug in 1, the derivative at 1. So if you take the derivative at 1, the slope of this line was up 2 and over 1. So slope is derivative, so it's 2. So I get, this is not L'Hopital's rule. And then the bottom, f at 1. What's the function value at 1? The answer is 1. And then arctan 1. And that's it. We don't need that, anything more than that. So 4 over 1 minus arctan 1. Arctan 1 is pi over 4, but I don't think you even need that. I think it's good the way it is. Mr. G Math, over and out. So don't assume it's L'Hopital's rule. It would have to have been indeterminate, right? 0 over 0, it wasn't. So that was your answer right there. Till next time. Great job doing your homework.